Greetings and welcome to my channel. This is Ms. B Ecstatic. Today, August 23rd, 2021, I will be doing a reading with the Ching coin predictions. It is a general reading tapping into the energies of the day. And if the message doesn't resonate for you, check back another time. It is meant to be for the collective, reach the collective at some level or another. And I just trust that those who need to hear the message will hear the message, will receive it, and know how to experience it and move forward with it. I always start with grounding and clearing myself and connecting to the living spirit of the I Ching energies, my spirit guides. And so I've done all of that, and I have cleared our coins for today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. What are the energies, messages available to the collective today? What are the energies and messages available to the collective for today? What are the energies, messages available to the collective today? Energies, messages available now for the collective today. Energies, messages available to the collective at this time for today. What are the energies and messages available for the collective today? All right. So we have our initial hexagram. And our hexagram is comprised of two trigrams, the upper and the lower. The upper representing heaven, the lower representing earth. So the lower earthly energies and the higher celestial energies, if you will. Now I know it's not easy to see these lines, but just hang in there with me, the message will come through. So in the above energies, we have water, moving water, changing water at the top. And at the bottom, we have wind. Is that right? Yeah, wind. No, thunder. I believe that's thunder. I am going to use my cheat sheet just to check and be sure. Trust but verify. So we have on the top, water, which is Khan. And on the lower, thunder, which is Chin. Shin, and that gives us the hexagram number 3. And number 3 us the message in general of difficult beginnings. All right, difficult beginnings. So I'm going to just tap into this for a moment intuitively, and then I'll go to my resources. Yeah, so the imagery I'm getting is from another deck that I have. I forget the name, but it is direct. It's correlated to another Osho deck, only with the I Ching. This one is Zen. The other one that I have is what I see is the emerging, the cracking of the egg and life emerging. So difficult beginnings, difficult at the start, because 3 is the beginning of the I Ching. 3 numerically, 1 plus 1 is 1 whole unit plus another whole unit collaboratively and in unity create a 3rd unit. And before it becomes stable at 4, you have difficult beginnings. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the break, like the constriction before breakthrough, the oppression before liberation, the choppy waters before one could emerge. I'm seeing like the other side of the horizon, the sun horizon of a storm. So there could be the need, the desire, the urge, the inner vision, the knowing of what direction you want to start something, but feeling feeling the drive towards that, feeling the desire, the passion, the creative force in that direction, and yet not yet is what I'm getting. Is like the restrictions are there, it's heavy imposition of the external world that's just saying, no, you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. But seeing what's possible on the horizon. That's what I'm seeing with this this hexagram. So we have 3, water above, thunder below. So water in the heavens is, for me, or what I'm picking up on is the how do I put it? The divine timing, the movement. I mean, I'm actually even seeing here in Arizona we have monsoon, so we'll go through terrible dry seasons through the summer, and then finally winter, fall. Well, essentially we have a dry season, and then we have a monsoon season that comes right before autumn, or right in between autumn and winter. And we're in that season now, and what I'm feeling is just like a rush of water in a dry canal that floods. So like once you're ready, the energy from the heavens will just overflow. the celestial energies of divine timing and all the gifts, graces, and blessings that you feel that are waiting and pending and just on the sun's horizon will flood you like a dry riverbed. That's what I feel from the heavens, with water being in heaven and with thunder below in the earth position. It's really a theme that I feel that is ongoing, having to do with our current astrology, with Uranus being in an earth position of Taurus, and again a constrictive element of Saturn, slowly holding the, like, slowing you down in your growth, while the thunder is quickening the energy. It's seeding and quickening. It's erratic, it's spontaneous. You don't know when it's going to fall or where. The quality of thunder and lightning, the quality of thunder is a shakeup. It can be disruptive, and usually lightning follows, right? So the quality of lightning is to ionize the atmosphere, to ionize and electrify and touch down and nourish the earth elements, the gross material of the earth, with ionic energy, positive and negative ionic energy. And this brings, for instance, where I'm at in Arizona, this brings the desert alive. And it could be sudden rushes of insight in terms of your physical well-being, your physical environment. So there's a need for a shift in the physical environment at this time. Today, perhaps you're feeling a restlessness, and perhaps you're getting sudden insights about the steps you might need to take for your own personal temple or your immediate environment, your home, your employment, your neighborhood, your family members, perhaps. And at the same time, there's perhaps a feeling of not being able to take action on that right now. A sense of knowing, a sense of insight, a sense of restlessness, but a barrier, Saturn, the celestial energies of water, holding back slowly for your own good is what I am picking up on. Like, this is a slow pressure release as divine timing, the celestial energies feel that you are ready. They will then release these waters of abundance, opportunity, renewal in your life in the areas that you already know, and you feel them coming. Okay, so because we have a moving line on the top, we're going to go ahead and do another trigram or hexagram. We keep with the bottom because there are no changing or moving lines in the bottom. And then we reverse the yin to the yang. And it gives us a new trigram, still with thunder on the bottom. And now we have wind at the top. And yeah, it's movement. It's movement. Let's see what number comes up with that. Give me one moment here. To my trusty cheat sheet. There are 64 expressions of the I Ching. And I don't have them all memorized yet, and this is part and parcel of why I chose to start this channel and to practice, is so that I can commit to mastering the I Ching in this way. Okay, so the top is Sun. And again, bottom, Shin. And that gives us the hexagram 42. And before I move on to that hexagram, I will read a little bit about the primary hexagram 3. And I'm using a really old book given to me by a really great friend of mine in another lifetime, Richard Shapiro. He taught me how to do Bagua Zhang, some Qigong. We shared a teacher, Joel Senior, who's now passed. And they were both inspirations and wonderful support in a time in my life, encouraging me to continue on with my studies here. So this is by Dai Lu, and number 3, difficulty in the beginning. And so I'm just going to read the page. It's very short. The third hexagram signifies difficulty or confusion in the beginning, but the restoration of order later on. The upper primary trigram, Kan, means water, danger, or difficulty, clouds, and rain. The lower primary trigram, Shen, means eldest son, thunder, and movement. Together they present the image of clouds and thunder in the heavens, a condition of disorder. But after the rain stops, the clouds disperse, thunder ceases, and the sky becomes clear. The day is fair. With regard to the seasons, Kan means winter, Shen spring. Kan also means water, and of course ice and snow. Shen can mean wood or grass. Thus, we have the image of sprouts coming up through the frozen ground. A very hard time, difficulty in the beginning. To those who seek guidance, this hexagram means that the present time is not favorable for action. They should be patient and await the right time. A good opportunity for undertaking will eventually present itself. Difficulty in the beginning indicates later improvement if a southeast wind or sunshine comes. The time is favorable for new sprouts, but even if the spring is harsh, the weather will eventually become warmer. You should not simply wait, however. You must also prepare. Yeah, so I think that speaks well to what I was intuitively picking up. And so I'm going to read the changing line reference here in the book as well. And it goes from 1 being the bottom, 6 being at the top. So the 6th moving line. So let's see. And it says here, he goes back and forth on horseback. He sheds tears with blood. Arrogance leads to misfortune, perhaps extreme misfortune. At work, you should guard against jealousy and slander, no matter how high your position or connections. At school, you should be wary of receiving insult. Keep a check on health of your parents. So this is the moving line interpretation, the hexagram interpretation and the moving line interpretation of Dai Liu. And I'm going to just read the moving line interpretation in my cheat sheet book, the I Ching workbook from R.L. Wing. You have lost your perspective. You can no longer see your initial difficulties realistically, nor can you find your way out. This is disgraceful and will cause you much regret. It is best to begin again. Wow. Well, neither one of those sounded very hopeful or optimistic. I think I liked my interpretation better. Yeah, so essentially, I think basically what both of them are saying is that if you think you know better than the divine timing of the celestial movements and the nature of your situation right now, you're wrong. And if you are arrogant enough to believe that you know better, then you will feel the wrath of your arrogance and of the divine justice of the celestial energies at hand. Again, it just feels like restrictions that are there in place for your own good at this time. All right, so number 42. Let's take a look at that in our, well, let me just pick up, again, we have the numbers 4 and 2, and these are much more stable numbers. 4 having each direction, 4 being like the foundation of a house, or any structure, and 2 is like also balanced, in agreement. So there's definitely more stability here. We still have the restlessness of the thunder at the earth perspective, and in the heavens, the wind. So tapping into that, communication. It could be that there are signs, symbols, or synchronicities that will be delivered to you shortly in the near future that will give you an indication that the heavens have opened up the waters of abundance for you to move forward. Again, I do still feel that it will be a slow opening, for some of you, it might be a watershed moment. And for others, it might be a slower, more drip. But you will get some communications in terms of how to take action. So let's just take a look and see what Dailiu says about Hexagram 42. This one says increase. Okay. The opposite of the preceding, okay, so let's see. Increase is the opposite of the preceding hexagram, decrease, and it signifies an increase in benefits or advantages. The upper trigram Sun is the wind, eldest daughter, and also means grass, flowers, small shrubs, and woody plants. The lower trigram Shen, in addition to thunder and eldest son, means trees. Together, Sun and Shen portray a richly foliated forest or a vine curling around a tree, covering it with leaves and flowers. The vine is the wife who adorns her husband, the tree, and needs his height and support. Together, they produce children, increasing their family. So yeah, that's interesting. So the four representing like a foundation, two, the husband being strong and tall as a tree, the wife being the vines that adorns the husband, brings fruit. Chen is also spring and sun, the period between spring and summer times when flowers and trees bloom and crops grow for the benefit of humanity. An active period in business can now be expected. Most of the lines signify good fortune and prosperity when your income increases. However, you should be generous and never try to take advantage of other people, according to the turning the page here. The sixth line, if a rich man is miserly and refuses to share his wealth, he will be attacked. It is a good time for marriage. Even if others advise against it, get married right away. Don't hesitate. Well, I'm not in any position to give that kind of advice. But I think basically, yeah, what I was getting intuitively from this is that you have what you need at this. If you allow this time to pass without taking any action on this day, attune yourself, ground yourself, stabilize the earth irritation and anxiousness. Tap into the messages that the celestial heavens have for you. It will come. There is abundance waiting for you, and there is, as the hexagram that we started with said, there is difficulty in the beginning, just like seeds dormant await the timing for their breakthrough of the hardened shell to reach through to the surface, through the soil, through all these other obstacles in order to touch the sun's rays. That's what we're looking at here. That is exactly what this hexagram is communicating. Once you've gone through that difficult beginning with the pressures and restrictions of the earth, and in this case, the heavens are, the celestial energies are doing this for your own good. Once you have overcome that period of time, and it could be, it could be all of this week, it could be tomorrow that the energy shifts from the water to the wind, and you get signs, symbols, synchronicities, some kind of opportunity or communication that then gives you either a watershed moment of abundance, or an open door for action, or it could also, just based on what I know about what's happening in the stars right now, for the next year and a half, we have, a Saturn oppressive, slow moving restriction on the erratic Uranus in Taurus, having to do with our home, our nourishment, and the way that we, give and receive abundance. So with that, I will do an Osho Zen Oracle card to accompany this reading. If you like this format, if you like the coin reading, leave me a comment leave me a comment in the box below. Give me a like, subscribe. There we go. Conditioning. All right, let's see if I can. So we have a lion in tide. Well, there's some, yeah, so there's, okay, this is really interesting. I'm not familiar with this card, so we will have to read it to get an accurate description. But there's sheep, representing the herd mentality, the conditioning. And then we have a lion clearly trying not to stand out. And he is, in his attempts, he's binding another sheep to his paws, to his being. So in relation to today and to this reading thus far, it's like there's what is inside of the seed has yet to emerge. And the conditioning is like the soil that the seed must, the seed is oppressed by, the seed is restricted by. And in this case, I feel like the lion is the potentiality of the seed, the potentiality of the day, the potentiality that you feel, you see on your sun's horizon. And the sun being Leo, the lion, we just went through a full moon in Aquarius. And that opposes Leo, the lion. Anyway, just other elements that are kind of layering over the message for today and the week going ahead. So this is the potentiality that you feel. And I can imagine being so restless as this entity amongst this herd. It's not where he belongs. It's not where he or she belongs. He's not, connecting. He's not creating. He's barely being able to move about freely without having to really try to cover up the true nature of his existence, of its being. And so today and this week in general would be a good time to look at how your conditioning, your beliefs, your current beliefs may be restricting you or holding you back. And because we are always being called to be active participants in our evolution and in our soul's growth in this lifetime, we aren't just sitting back and waiting for the heavens to release on divine timing. We should be using that time in order to evaluate and do the inner work and prepare ourselves. I believe that was part of the message in the number 3 hexagram, is to prepare. It's not time to take action, but it's time to prepare. Knowing what's happening, knowing what's coming next, knowing that something is on the horizon and that the storm will pass. And when it does, all of this abundance will come. So I think that's actually really perfect. And I'm gonna give a little gratitude card. I really like the size. I just thought they were so cute. Just a little hand held with short messages. And I'm just gonna take this one. And here's you can see it's a sculpture. Hands resting on a woman's outer hip. We once really turned someone else on. Yeah, true. So maybe looking at your conditioning and looking at what kind of things really get you excited. What is it that turns you on? These are 2 messages, 2 things that you can do actively to participate in your soul's evolution, along with the divine timing and the blessings that are awaiting you. And I think really that will do it for today. So again, if you like this kind of content, please give me a like below, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think, if it resonates for you, or yeah, if you want to share it with a friend, please do so. And I appreciate you visiting. This is Miss Be Ecstatic, and I'm out. Peace.